20 red flags. Someone's secretly jealous of you. You probably already know what jealousy looks like when it's loud. Eye rolls, backhanded jabs, passive-aggressive drama. But what if I told you the real danger isn't in the obvious haters? It's in the people who smile when you win, but that smile doesn't reach their eyes. Today, we're exposing the 20 subtle psychological red flags that someone you trust might be secretly threatened by you. And you'll finally understand why certain people act cold or weird or distant when all you've done is grow. And if you've ever had someone say good for you in that tone that makes your skin crawl, yeah, that's not a compliment. That's their insecurity screaming. If you've ever felt confused or even guilty after achieving something meaningful, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know how to spot the silent jealous types, but you'll also know exactly how to guard your energy. Before we begin, make sure you're subscribed to Brainy Daily Clips so you never miss deep insights like this one that help you protect your peace and power every step of the way. Let's dive in. Sign 1. Good for you. With a side of resentment, you just landed a new job or reached a personal goal. You share the news, and instead of genuine excitement, you get a dry, good for you. Not warm, not enthusiastic, just cold. And suddenly your win feels like a threat in the room. This isn't about the words, it's the delivery. Flat tone, forced smile. It's not a celebration, it's containment. They're trying not to show you how jealous they really are. Sign 2. They ignore your wins completely. You post something exciting. A new milestone, an award, a breakthrough. And crickets. No comment, no like, no acknowledgement. Meanwhile, they're active online, engaging with memes and nonsense. That silence is loud. When people who once claimed to be close can't celebrate you, it's not by accident. Their jealousy is louder than their support. Sign 3. They downplay your success. You worked hard. You sacrificed. You earned it. And then someone hits you with, it's not that hard, or must be nice, some of us can't catch a break. Now your big moment feels small, and that's exactly what they wanted. Downplaying is emotional erosion. They don't want to see you shine, so they throw shade disguised as logic. Sign 4. They guilt-trip your victories. You're on a high. Maybe you finally hit your first big sale or got that long-awaited raise. And out of nowhere, a friend sighs and says, some of us are still struggling, but good for you. Translation. They're not happy for you. They're offended by your happiness. This is emotional blackmail dressed as vulnerability. It's not your fault they're struggling, and your light doesn't dim theirs, unless they refuse to light their own. Sign 5. They act weird when you talk about goals. You mention you're starting a new side hustle, or prepping for a marathon, or taking a class, and instantly the vibe changes. Instead of encouragement, they respond with a flex of their own. Oh, I did that years ago, or yeah, but I'm working on something even bigger right now. It's not a conversation. It's a silent competition. They're not listening, they're measuring, and they feel small next to your growth. Sign 6. The backhanded compliment sneak attack. Wow, I didn't expect you to actually pull that off. You? Doing that? Impressive. Backhanded compliments are like verbal landmines. They're half praise, half poison. They don't lift you up. They put you on trial. It's admiration wrapped in doubt, and it leaves you second-guessing your own win. Sign 7. Defensive outbursts when you succeed. You share good news, and someone snaps, oh please, you just got lucky. Or they change the subject. Or they go quiet. This isn't just awkwardness, it's a projection. Your success is touching a nerve, and their knee-jerk reaction is to discredit you because deep down, they feel they're falling behind. Sign 8. Imitation with a hidden agenda. They start dressing like you, talking like you, posting like you, launching projects suspiciously similar to yours, but without credit or acknowledgement. Now, imitation can be flattery, but when it's done to confuse your audience, blur your originality, or steal your spotlight, that's not admiration. It's a covert competition. Sign 9. Passive-aggressive sarcasm. You say, I just got promoted. They say, well, I guess someone had to take the job. It's sarcasm that cuts. They cloak envy and jokes, but the punchline always chips away at your confidence. This isn't humor, it's resentment wearing a smile. Sign 10. Sudden emotional distance. One day they're your biggest supporter. The next, they barely respond to your texts. They avoid your updates. They look through you at gatherings. Jealousy creates emotional withdrawal. They can't be around your energy because it reminds them of what they're not doing. And here's the truth. It's not that you changed. It's that your growth revealed their stagnation. Sign 11. They quietly enjoy your setbacks. Ever notice how someone seems a little too calm when you tell them you're going through something? Maybe you admit a deal fell through or a project flopped, and instead of sympathy they say, "Well, I guess everything happens for a reason," with that slight grin. That isn't empathy, that's satisfaction. They won't say it out loud, but inside they're relieved you stumbled, because your success made them feel inadequate, and your struggle makes them feel safe again. Sign 12. They say your success isn't fair. You only got that because of your connections. Must be nice to have that kind of luck. It's who you know, not what you know. This is how jealous people invalidate you. They strip your hard work of meaning because if they admitted you earned it, they'd have to confront why they haven't. It's easier to say you don't deserve it than to admit they haven't done what it takes. Sign 13. They tell you to dim your light. You don't have to talk about it so much. You're always making everything about you. This one stings. You're not bragging, you're proud, but they make you feel like your confidence is a crime. Here's the truth. People who love you don't ask you to shrink. They clap louder. They want you seen, heard, and celebrated. If someone asks you to dim your light, it's because it's exposing the shadow they haven't faced in themselves. Sign 14. They criticize what they don't understand: your goals, your mindset, your lifestyle. Jealousy doesn't always show up as an insult. Sometimes it hides in constructive feedback. They might say, "I just don't get why you're always so focused on money," or "Why can't you just settle down like everyone else?" But it's not about you. It's about the version of you that makes them uncomfortable. You're reminding them of the risks they never took. Sign 15. You feel drained after being around them. You can't always explain it, but after spending time with them, your mood dips. You second-guess your choices. You shrink without noticing it. That's because their jealousy is active, even in silence. Energy is real, and if someone secretly resents you, you'll feel it in your spirit. Protect your peace like it's gold. If someone costs you clarity, motivation, or joy, they're too expensive to keep close. Sign 16. It comes from family, and it cuts deeper. You tell your mum about your business plans. She says, "That's not really realistic, is it?" You tell your cousin you got a promotion. They say, "Guess you're not one of us anymore." Jealousy from strangers is annoying. Jealousy from family is heartbreaking, because we expect them to be our safety net, not the ones poking holes in the fabric. But truth doesn't care who's speaking. If it's cutting you down instead of lifting you up, you're allowed to set boundaries, even with blood. Sign 17. They use rumors instead of honesty. A coworker didn't get the same raise you did, so now they're whispering about how you're not really qualified, or you just got lucky. They'll never say it to your face. They won't ask how you did it. They'll just try to poison the room behind your back. This is cowardice pretending to be confidence, and it's fueled by jealousy. Let them talk. The truth always outlasts gossip. Sign 18. They act like your win is their loss. You're not even competing. But somehow, your success makes them feel like they're losing. You get a new car. They suddenly complain about how everyone's obsessed with material things. You get into shape. They mock people who live at the gym. It's not about what you did. It's what it triggered in them. They don't see life as abundant. They see it as a scoreboard. And when you win, they feel like they're falling behind. Sign 19. They try to pull you off track. This one's subtle and dangerous. You announce your focus. You say no to distractions. You stay in your lane. Suddenly they need you. They invite you out more. They question your schedule. They call you selfish for setting boundaries. But what they're really doing is dragging you back to comfort, because your discipline is revealing their delay. Don't pause your progress for people who aren't moving. Sign 20. They celebrate your pain louder than your success. This is the ultimate red flag. They're silent when you shine, but loud when you struggle. You hear from them when you fail, but not when you fly. That's not friendship. That's emotional surveillance. They're waiting for the moment you fall because it makes them feel taller without doing the work. The real ones don't disappear when you rise. They rise with you. They cheer without envy. They love without keeping score. You've just seen the signs. Not the dramatic ones that get called out in public, but the quiet ones, the psychological ones, the ones that chip at your confidence in private until you start questioning the very things you should be proud of. So, let's break this down. Why does jealousy show up like this? Because jealousy, at its root, isn't about you, it's about them. It's about what they feel they can't do, what they haven't achieved, what they gave up on when they watch you choosing growth. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." Jealousy is irritation projected outward. When people don't like what you're doing, it's often because it holds a mirror to their own inaction. You didn't offend them. You reminded them of their fear. And here's what most people don't realize. They're not angry that you succeeded. They're angry that your success proves their excuses wrong. It's easier to criticize you than confront that they've stalled. So they distance, they mock, they downplay, they whisper, they stop clapping, because it hurts to watch someone else become what they're afraid to chase. But that's not your burden to carry. Their fear isn't your problem. Their silence isn't your guilt. Their jealousy isn't your shame. And this is where people make the biggest mistake. They stop. They water themselves down. They hold back from sharing good news. They pretend to be smaller than they are, just to make someone else feel more comfortable. Let's make something clear. That's not humility. That's self-betrayal. Your growth isn't selfish. Your wins don't make you arrogant. Your light doesn't mean you're shining at someone. It just means you're shining. And anyone who can't handle your light was never standing with you. They were standing behind you in your shadow. So what do you do when jealousy shows up? You don't fight it. You don't argue with it. You don't beg it to change. You keep moving. You stay consistent. You stay kind, but clear. And most of all, you watch your circle. Not everyone deserves front row seats to your evolution. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your elevation, not just tolerate it. The ones who say, "You're doing amazing," and mean it. The ones who see your success and feel inspired, not insecure. Because those people, those are your people. And if you're hearing this and thinking, "Wait, have I been the jealous one?" Good, that means you're awake. If you've ever felt that twinge of envy watching someone win, use it. What do they have that I want? And what's stopping me from going after it? Use their success as a signal, not a threat, and let that uncomfortable feeling push you toward your own growth. Because there's room. There's enough. And you? You're not short on belief anymore. If someone can't clap when you win, if they go quiet when you rise, if they mock, sabotage, copy, compete, or disappear. But your energy is precious. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to tone it down. You just need to keep showing up, shining, grinding, becoming, and protecting your peace like your life depends on it. Because honestly, your future does. Have you ever experienced one of these subtle red flags? Drop it in the comments. And if this message hit deep, share it. And don't forget, subscribe to Brainy Daily Clips for more insights like this. You're not here to play small. You're here to rise. Keep shining. They'll either get inspired or get out of the way.